Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Hotsport. And this is a very, very exciting week for me. I think this is, through a lot of the matchups going on this week and where the teams are at the table, this is a real big weekend in the Premier League in terms of how the results can kind of shape the table heading into maybe the last 16 games, because I think there are a lot of different swings that can happen. Very exciting stuff. It's been a while, I feel, even though we were in a period where we squeezed in a whole lot of this season, maybe a quarter of the season into a month and a bit. And now it's been about a week or so plus since we've last seen Premier League games, but it's back with a bang. And we are going to get into now what I have for this week's games. Make sure you're liking, make sure you're subscribing. This is Upset Alert. All right, guys, welcome along to Upset Alert. I'm turn on the Upset Alert music. I'm actually going to, this is the schedule this week in the Premier League, and I've used the Premier League's website as I do every single week. And we kick off the week with Manchester Derby. By the way, before I say that, I got my boy Cal. Make sure you're subscribing to Fire Them Cans. Make sure you're subscribing to Cal Gunner TV. And of course, you know, as I've already said, to Hotsport. But how you going, my friend?
Pretty good. Keen to see what you have in store for us.
Yeah, let's go. So we're going to make our picks for this week's Premier League fixtures, starting with the early kickoff. Right off the bat, we get probably the game of the week. Manchester United against Manchester City. The odds for this game, by the way, are very interesting, very tight. So City are the favorites away at Old Trafford, as you would expect. By the way, I use sports bet. So for all you guys, this is the way we bet in Australia. We use dollars. So basically, if you bet $1, you would get the price back if the team that you picked wins. So $1.90 is what Man City have gotten for as the favorites. But Man United not that far behind at $3.60 with the draw at $3.90. So this for me, guys, is now, will Man United beat Man City? That's for another topic. But am I sitting there thinking this is a opportunity for City to drop points? Hell to the yes. It is a derby. Man United, are an underdog, United fans. That's right. Your team is not good. You're on your third manager of the season. But, Brian Mbeumo returns from AFCON. Amad Diallo returns from AFCON. Benjamin Sesko, as pictured here on the screen, has been finally finding form for Man United. I'm expecting a fired up crowd at Old Trafford. Michael Carrick's first game at the wheel against a Manchester City side that is under a heap of pressure to get this done. For me, if Man United beat Manchester or take points off Manchester City in this game, I would not be surprised. This is the game, I think, that City are the most vulnerable in. They are coming off the back of 3 games with 3 consecutive draws, and their new signing, help at the back, Mark Gahey, is not yet to be available, not even officially a City player by the time this game kicks off. Maybe. We'll see what happens. I highly doubt that because medical has to occur and all that stuff. So the defense is a bit leaky. Benjamin Sesko's on form. We got Mbeumo. Cunha has been on form recently as well. And Bruno's back in the 10 for me, which I feel like it could be a good performance for Manchester United. What do you think, Hal?
Yeah, I definitely think there's something in this. I don't think this is going to be a straightforward game. At least we hope not. I think there is an opportunity here for that new manager Bounce to come and get in and upset City. City has drawn their last 3 games in a row, so 3 Prem games in a row at least. So yeah, this is an opportunity. I think there is, in fact, a good reason to put some money behind Manchester United. Not too much though.
Yeah. All right, Cal. What cards on the table? What do you think will be the result of Man United against Man City? And give me a score.
Cards on the table. I just have a feeling it's going to be like a 3-1 to City, to be honest, if I'll be honest with you. I feel like I like this is such a this isn't impossible to predict, which is probably why it's good to bet on.
Yeah.
It's like I was saying maybe Manchester United could nick it in yesterday, today. I'm feeling something else. It's like you cannot predict what's going to happen in this game. You just can't. This could be a 3-1. This could be a 2-3. This could be anything because Manchester City are so vulnerable in defense at times, and Manchester United at times are so crap in general. So yeah, but I have a feeling City might pull this one off.
Yeah, so for me, I'm going to go on a limb here. And by the way, if I was giving you any betting advice, the $3.90, which is the further out of the three, a draw is what I would bet for this game. I'm going to go with a 2-2. I think there's a potential where Man United come out firing really quickly, put City on the back foot early, City then turn it around, and I just feel like there is going to be a twist in the tail in the closing embers where United score something and nick a draw at the end. That's kind of the way I'm feeling. I'm really excited for this game. I think it's going to be a really good one, entertaining one. And I do think, by the way, that the fact that there's a combination of City's struggles in defense without Gahey in yet, plus the fact that Sesko is in the best form of his Man United career or of the season, plus the fact that Brian Mbeumo is now back. Cunha has basically been scoring every single week for the most part in recent weeks as well. And then Bruno is back to his best position, as I said earlier. I do think that there are going to be goals, and I do think that Man United will be able to score. And I do feel like there's that new manager bounce. Look, again, on the other side, City would be pumped. Semenyo is going to be playing his first Prem game. You know, they have just had the announcements of the Gahey, so there might be as well some good vibes in the Man City dressing room. So it's going to be interesting, but I'm going to go for a 2-2 result over there. The next game is Brentford against Chelsea, and we're starting off this show on fire. Yeah, I also think Chelsea dropped points in this one too, and this time I'm actually really more confident of that than ever. Chelsea have one win since the start of December, and if you could go even further back, I think they drew the last game of November with Arsenal, despite what people tell you. The game prior to that was they had a bit of a winning streak going on prior to that, right? But since then, it's been one victory since the end of November up until now. Or maybe, one. It was against Everton at home. And, you know, all that's gone on, Liam Rosinia. But on the flip side, make it less about Chelsea. Igor Thiago, the man pictured on this screen, behind Haaland, has 16 Premier League goals. He is on absolute fire. Brentford have been on fire. They have been the most informed club in the Premier League right now. And they are scoring goals for fun. And they are 5th in the Premier League. They're actually ahead of Chelsea in the table. The odds for this one, which for me are interesting. This is why I think it's a great value for money. I'm picking a Brentford win. $1.75 is what's the odds given for Chelsea. $3.80 is the draw, and they're offering $4.33 for Brentford, who I feel is the better informed team.
Okay, that's a steal.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? I might put a 20 on that one.
Yeah.
For
seriously.
Brentford.
Yeah, I've got Brentford winning this game.
Those are ridiculous odds. I think it's going to be a draw, but just for the odds, those ridiculous odds.
Even odds is $3.80.
But
not
like,
not a bad shout.
Yeah, I might go hard and just put in a 20 piece for that $4.20. You said
$4.33.
$4. Come on, what are we doing here? Of course, yeah. I think Brentford can definitely get something out of this game. And they are the most informed team. 4 wins and 1 draw, but even better than us because our draw was in our last game, but their draw was 2 games ago. So, yeah. I definitely think Brentford has a very, very good chance of winning this game.
Yeah, not just that, they have the most informed player in the league right now. So,
Also, they gave us like their press isn't something to sniff about. So yeah.
yeah, I definitely think so. Yeah, so these are the two games for me that we have, I think are very interesting bets to make. Let's take a look quickly at the rest of the league, and we will make our predictions off that. Of course, that does include our club playing, but this for me is an interesting, very interesting game. Two teams actually on similar form who kind of really picked things up in the second half of the season. Don't look now, but Fulham are on 31 points, the same as Chelsea, by the way. Leeds, by the way, after starting the season really slowly, are now up on 22 points, and they have really been really fun and pulling up some really amazing results. Like Newcastle to pull off miracles just to beat them at home in their last game. So this is going to be a really, what I call during the goal rush, the games where you're not really like circling, but it'll be fun to see kind of like the goals come in and the highlights of this one as it comes in. The odds for this one, though, are giving Leeds the favorite at $2.10, the draw at $3.30, and Fulham at $3.50. For me, Leeds at home at Elland Road have been remarkable recently. I would go straight up Leeds win. I'm going to say 2-1 to Leeds.
Yeah, I think Leeds win. I think they've been playing really good football this season, and I really hope they stay up because I think they're fun. They're a fun team.
Yeah,
and they invoke their will on the game. They don't really sit back against anyone, and they really believe in themselves. So that's something I like to see in football. So yeah.
Yeah.
I put my money on
Moving on to the next one, which is also during the goal rush. For me, this is the bang on most easy game to pick of the week.
Straight the barbecue chicken. We don't even need to talk about it much.
Liverpool host Burnley. They're giving Burnley $15 in this one. Liverpool 118. So the bettors are basically saying this is basically odds on. You were to bet $1, you would get 18 cents back. So it's not even really worth.
If I put my 20 on, Brentford, just cause, how much would that give me?
Oh, that would 20.
I'd get 300. Yeah, 300 bucks. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's.
Yeah, crazy. By the way, those numbers have jumped since I looked at it last, which was $13, because Egypt have now been eliminated from AFCON. So we don't know if Salah will be playing or not, but it is a possibility. But that's I believe what bumped up Liverpool's odds even further in this one. Not to mention they're at home against, for me, the team with the worst talent in all the league, and that includes Wolves. Like for me, there's no game changers at all in the Burnley team. I'm going to go for 4-0 to Liverpool for me.
4-0. I will go 3-1. I think they concede, and I don't think they score 4.
All right, next one. This one is interesting. The odds shifted on this one since news from last night. Mark Gahey will no longer be playing for Crystal Palace. Sunderland at home against Crystal Palace. Sunderland the 237, the draw 320, and Palace given $3.10. For me, Sunderland have been amazing at home. Crystal Palace are falling apart. Their manager has just announced that he's not going to be returning for next season. For me, there's just way too much shit going off the pitch with Palace. And Sunderland have been remarkable at home. In fact, next to Arsenal, they have the best. Actually, now that we've drawn, they do have the best record at home in the Premier League this season, Sunderland. So I think for me, it's a Sunderland win.
Yeah, I think it's a Sunderland win as well. I think it's a 2-1.
Yeah, I'd probably say something. I'm going to say 2-0 to Sunderland. Next up, a game we talked about in my previous video, Tottenham against West Ham at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Tottenham at $1.70, the draw $3.80, West Ham $4.75. A game where both teams are really under pressure for me, but I do think that Tottenham Hotspur get the job done. West Ham for me couldn't beat Nottingham Forest at home in a game at the bottom of the league. They're 7 points inside of the hole, and I just think, yeah, Tottenham are just a better team overall. They just signed Conor Gallagher. For me, I still think I have a Tottenham, and I'm going to say 3-1 Spurs.
Same.
Yeah. And then the next game, Arsenal play in the late window, Saturday, 4:30 a.m. for us, 5:30 in the UK. Away at Nottingham Forest, we're $1.50 the odds. The draw is offering $4.20, and the Nottingham Forest are out there at $6. Cal, how do you feel about our trip to Nottingham? Oh, don't give away too much, because fire them cannons. We're going to really, really obviously dissect this game in a larger picture, but just quickly, what do you think?
I think we will play with a bit of fire, and I do expect us to win. I don't think we concede. I think it's going to be like a 2-0 to us.
Yeah, for me, I don't know why, I'm just feeling a little bit more nervous about this game. Like when we go away from home against some of these sides, I just don't know. I feel like Sean Dyche has a game plan. But I don't think it's going to be an easy one. But I actually do kind of agree with you. I think it'll probably be somewhere around the 2-0. I just do think that this team is going to set up in a low block, and they're going to try to defend the crap out of this game. But yeah, I do kind of think that way. But I don't want to spend too long, because I have an entire podcast this evening with you to discuss this game. But yeah, both of us are picking an Arsenal win. The next one, for me, it should be, it's pretty straightforward. Wolves, by the way, just an update on Wolves recently. At the halfway stage, they had 3 points in total. And that was after they got a draw against Man United at Old Trafford. They're at 7 now. So they've already beaten their projection at 7. I've been doing on the tiers Derby alert or Derby watch, because Derby is the worst team ever in Premier League history. They finished on 11 points. So now Wolves need 4 for the rest of the season to equalize that, or 5 to avoid being the worst Premier League team of all time. They do host Newcastle. The Toon Army come to Wolves. They're offering $1.70 for Newcastle to win, $4 for the draw, $4.50 for Wolves. For you, is this straightforward? Is there a sting in the tail? What do you think?
I think Newcastle get the job done against Wolves. I have no faith in anything that they do. I think they just straight up lose the game.
Yeah,
I think they just straight up lose the game.
Newcastle have been on form. If they win this, so this will be 4 game victories in a row for the Toon Army. I do think they'll win. I think it'll probably I'm going to get 4-1 to Newcastle. You saw the goals that they scored against Leeds the other day away from home. They should be cooking Wolves, but Wolves have been tough. I've been predicting just huge blowouts the whole year, and it hasn't really ever gone that way. But
yeah, they're kind of like Luton Town, where they lose every game, but they always keep it within 1 goal.
Yeah. Next up again, on Sunday, you have Aston Villa hosting Everton at Villa Park. $1.66 for Villa, $3.75 at the draw, $5 for Everton. For me, I will advise you to take Villa at home at Villa Park. The last game they played Villa Park with Nottingham Forest, I thought they looked pretty strong as a response to losing to Arsenal. I think after drawing at Palace, a similar result might come here. Everton might have a goal in them, so I'd say it could be like a 2 or a 3-1 to Villa, but I think Villa will get the job done. Why'd I say you, Cal?
I think it might be another draw, to be honest with you. I just have a feeling that they might start slipping away, because every team kind of levels out. The league really doesn't lie, and at a certain point, Aston Villa are going to just keep dropping points until they kind of level out again. And I feel like this might be another one of those ones. I think it might be like a 2-2.
That'd be interesting. See, so Cal's actually got an upset alert in there. I wish you would have given me a heads up. That way I could have put it in a graphic. Yeah, interesting. So another one, guys. Just for fun, I'll hit this. That was for you, bud. So Villa are on upset alert here. And by the way, if they were to get upset in this one, for me, that's curtains for their title hopes, given that Man City and Arsenal are going to have much, much better form. Just officially, we'll put that little fairy tale to bed. Last one, which is Monday Night Football. Brighton host Bournemouth. Brighton are 186 favorite. The draw and Bournemouth are the exact same odds at $3.80. This is the first game Bournemouth are without Antoine Semenyo. For me, straight up, I think Brighton win this game. They've gotten good results against both Manchester clubs in Manchester. And for Bournemouth, this is their first game without their talisman, who's literally dragged them throughout the whole year. for me, I think this is pretty straightforward. Brighton win. I'm going to say
well,
3-0.
to be honest with you, when Bournemouth played us, they played well. Even though Semenyo, I don't think he had a particularly good game at all. So I feel like they could still, that press that Bournemouth does, I think you can catch people out, and Brighton does like, playing out from the back. They do like, playing football. So I think this is going to be a really exciting end-to-end game. This is going to be an insane end-to-end game. I don't think it's going to be straightforward. But I still do think it would be like something like a, this might be like a 3-2 to Brighton.
Ooh.
Yes, they win, but like just goals.
Wow. So that's very interesting, guys. That has been our preview for this week's game, guys. Let me know what you think. What was your predictions for all the games? Let us know, by the way, what you think about, as I'll hit to the top here, about the Manchester derby, Manchester United against Man City, which is the featured game of the week. For me, just the last thing to break it down, I think in terms of the title picture, Man United, Man City play first, so there's a chance for them to cut the lead to 3 or not, leave the door open for Arsenal to extend. Then Arsenal go up against Forest. If Arsenal result goes to there, that could make the title race really right back in it, to say if we were to do the unthinkable. Or, we maintain that position ahead of them playing Villa. If we were to win, would be 9 points behind going into that Everton game. If what Cal says happens, they'd be 8 points back behind. So I think this is a huge kind of week for the title race, just because of the way that the 3 games are laid up, which is why I kind of feel like by the time Villa get to play, they're really going to kind of know what's required, because both of us would have sort of played our games. Anyway, guys, enjoy the games for the week. It kicks off for us at 11:30. It's, I think, 12:30 kickoff the UK time. Manchester derby, Manchester United against Manchester City. I know I'll be watching that game, even though I somehow get some sleep. And I got to go to the Australian Open tomorrow, so it's going to be interesting balance of schedule. Anyway, guys, enjoy the games. We'll see you guys later. Thanks again to Cal for, by the way, jumping on with me today on this show. And make sure you go check out Cal's show and be on with us at Fire Them Cannons. Later on this evening, we will be going live to talk about our cup win, first leg win, talk about Victor Gyökeres and in a positive way, and then talk about, obviously, our game against Forest. So, guys, look out for that one. Until then, guys, Anton and Cal out.